Hey guys, this is Malinger again. I am doing a comic book review today for the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen Century 1910. Yeah, I know this is a bit of an obscure one. It's kind of, probably not that many people have read this or have even considered reading it. But, when the movie came out, when I was a kid when the movie came out, so I was completely fascinated with it because, I was just getting into the literary, the old literary characters like, Quartermain and Nemo and all them. So it was a real interesting thing for me when I was a kid, and ever since then, yeah, I've just been into the whole League of Extraordinary. Moving along. So basically, whenever I happen to come across one of these, I at least try to read it just so that I can expand on the universe that is already there. In regards to the review for this one, I have to say it's not my favorite of this universe. I really preferred if the movie was Volume 1, which it isn't, there's a lot of differences that I'm not sure if people would agree with, but I really did enjoy Volume 2. So if they ever make a sequel, hopefully that would be great, but probably not, especially with how old Sean Connery's getting. He's probably not going to be willing to reprise his role. But anyway, so I mean, the second volume was really cool. That was actually the War of the Worlds. That's the story they focused around. So, and for those of you who might not have seen the movie or don't know what I'm talking about, the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen is basically like the Avengers using literary icons, such as Alan Quartermain from King Solomon Mines, Mahina Murray, who was a character in the Dracula. I forgot the name of the author. Sorry, Bogart, I think. Anyway, the Invisible Man's in it. Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde's in it, and who is the other character? Oh, Captain Nemo from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. So you guys get the idea. This is like an Avengers for the old literary classics. But anyway, not taking too long on that. In regards to the review for this one, as I said before, it's not really my favorite. Probably my least favorite, actually, of all of them that I've read so far. So, I mean, I would say it's at maximum a 3 out of 5. But, maybe somebody else would like it a little bit more. You know how it is. And like I said before, I know it's obscure, so I doubt anybody else has reviewed this on YouTube. So maybe if somebody happens to be looking at it, like, wonder if this is worth buying, maybe I'll help them out by putting this video up. I don't know. Anyway, at this point, it's just me talking. Anyway, so getting to the review. And as always, I will spoil things. So if you don't want to be spoiled, or at the very least you don't want, at this point, I'm not going to hold back. So if you don't want to get spoiled too much, now's a good time to drop off. But anyway, so this one basically starts out with the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen that is currently in place at 1910. Now the problem with explaining that real quick, the one that we saw in the movies was the late 1800s. So this is a whole new group, excluding 2 members. 2 of those members is Alan Quartermain and Wilhelmina Murray. The reason for that, now I know most of you that may have only seen the movie think, oh, well, she's a vampire, that's why. No, because in the comic books, she was never a vampire. I think she was in Stom Broker's book, but I don't know exactly. I never read the Dracula book, so I wouldn't know. But anyway, so Wilhelmina is not immortal because of vampirism. She's immortal due to how do I explain this? It's just a weird kind of take on the Fountain of Youth. Let's just say that. There's a Fountain of Youth they found basically in Africa. and it gave her and Alan Quatermain immortality. I'm going to leave it at that, okay? You know, let's not get too far off topic here. So basically, this one has those two, and another immortal they found in the process of becoming immortals themselves, named Orlando. I'm not going to go into him either, because that's just a whole nother crazy story all by himself. He's interesting, but anyway. So what we also have here is a psychic. I forget his name. It was like Mr. Kabalasky or something. I forget now. I'm sorry. And a thief named Raffles. I don't know if these two characters actually exist in literary literature or in classic literature. As far as I know, I've never even heard of these two people, but whatever. I could have done without them. Would have been completely fine with the first three, so whatever. As you see, I'm not overly thrilled with this book. But anyway, so the psychic has a dream of the upcoming apocalypse, basically, which revolves around a occult meeting and a young girl. And this young girl is, well, okay, he sees her at the docks of London. Let's just put it at that for now. So they think, okay, this is all one dream. Somehow the apocalypse and this occult group are somehow connected to this girl as well, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to just try to move through this quickly if I can. I've already gotten longer than I wanted to. They find the girl. Turns out that she is the heir of Captain Nemo, who by this time is very, very old. She ran away not wanting to be the next captain of the Nautilus. This broke her father's heart, he was already on his deathbed, killed him. So now she has the crew of the Nautilus out there waiting for her to accept her role as the captain, but she's still resisting it and is trying to lead a life of being a barmaid out here on the docks. Problem is, being at the docks like this provides unsavory characters. And let's just say, well, the unsavory characters had their way with her. Let's put it that way. Try to keep this as PG as possible. So she didn't take much liking to that, and yeah, she created a hell of an apocalypse on the London docks, I'll tell you that. She's a pirate captain, I would say even far greater than her father was. By God's sake, she tore that place up. London burned again, basically. I don't know how to put it, but anyway. So the whole occult thing turned out to be a whole separate story, even though they thought, you know, with his dream that it was one and they were connected. They went and visited that occult group. Turned out that all they ended up doing was revealing to them that they had to find another member before they could start the apocalypse. But they managed to trick the group into thinking, oh, we're not doing anything. But in the process, you know, his dream revealed to the occultists that they needed another member. Whatever. I could have done without that whole part of the story, honestly. That was about as boring as crap to me, but anyway. So, yeah. The daughter of Nemo. That's pretty much the most interesting part of the story, is the daughter of Nemo. And this is probably, I don't know if this might be the first time they actually showed the three immortals together in a comic. I don't remember for sure. I haven't researched that myself. But, yeah, the daughter of Nemo kicked some serious ass. That was the most interesting part of the book. Just seeing her tear up the place. The Nautilus had a new paint job. It was pretty cool looking. You know, that was pretty much it. You got a little bit of information on the dynamics of the three immortals' relationship. I'll let your minds wander on that. But anyway, and that was pretty much it. The rest of the story just bleh. So that's why I'm saying no more than a 3 out of 5, in my opinion. You know, this gets a C. I really don't see it being a B or anything higher than, it's average, if not below average. Also, what was really nice about this book Well, I got it as a trade back, and the trade back had a little section in the back of it which gave a lot of information about different time periods besides this one. For instance, it kind of had a little... Now, these are just written pages. Kind of reminds me of fan fiction if you read that kind of stuff. The first one gave you a little bit of a backstory for Orlando's origin. Tells you what happened to him and how he became who he is a little bit. And there's also a little bit of more story of Nina and Alan Quartermain in Orlando and what they do up until, I think, 1967, I think was the last story they told. A lot of interesting little, building up the timeline a little bit kind of stuff. So, it's definitely worth reading if you're interested in this universe and these characters. I would not buy it, though. I know that's not exactly good to say, but, I'm sorry, guys. This was not an enjoyable read. Only if you're the most die-hard of Extraordinary League of Gentlemen fans, only if you're one of the most die-hard one of them, should you even consider having this in your collection. I would say most other people would probably be disappointed if they bought it and then, they may have not liked it at all. Or at the very least, read it before you buy it, just to be safe, just so you know what you're getting into with this purchase. But anyway, that's all I'm going to say on that. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, you know the drill. Thank you very much. Bye.